Sports Professor Rick Horrow into the $1.3 trillion business of sports with your Maxwell matchups. The top three games with off-field implications brought to you by the Maxwell Football Club. Number one, UCLA at USC, the crosstown rivalry. The schools are 12 miles apart, but you feel the intensity, especially this year. Next year, the Big Ten $7 billion TV deal brings the LA market to the stable. Doesn't lessen the rivalry. Each team's folks tape up their mascots and their statues to avoid vandalism, but they also raise money for a common cause, like funds for the Special Olympics, like an inter-area LA blood drive. All of that very important, but let's not detract from the football game itself, and the Pac-12 will be no more. The Big 12 is the Big 10 is the beneficiary. See where it goes on the field as well. That's number one. Number two, number 25, Kansas State at number 16, Kansas. Dillon's, a subsidiary of Kroger, bought the naming rights to the Dillon's Sunflower Showdown. They've been playing this game since 1911, and the first game between the two universities, a baseball game, way back in the 1800s. The bottom line is they are fierce competitors on the field. Off the field, another matter. They talk about the economic impact and one of 31 economic catchment areas funded by the U.S. Department of Commerce's Economic Development Organization, where they come together to promote jobs and promote economic development in the Kansas area for both schools. Bottom line is that this is a rivalry that will depend on bowl game, obviously, implications. Both teams have 7-3 records. They'll both go to bowls, but they'll both generate economics as well. That's number two. Finally, number three, 24 North Carolina travels to Clemson. Clemson's interesting in the sense that Dabo Swinney has railed against NIL, but he says that he's not totally avoiding the program, just that his players aren't leaving, so he doesn't need to go to the transfer portal. Remains to be seen. They're 6-4. On the North Carolina side, 8-2. And Drake May, obviously a Heisman candidate, $1.3 million of NIL deals, including the latest one he did with Mitchell Heating and Cooling. But rather than going into his pockets, he insists that his linemen get a lion's share of all of these NIL deals. You know what it means? It means this guy is protected and will continue to be protected. And it's a great rivalry as well. NIL support, non-NIL philosophy. We'll see how it all shakes out on the field. Sports Professor Rick Horrow with your Maxwell matchups, the top three games with off-field implications, brought to you by the Maxwell Football Club.